Uh, you're on a rotational list. So there's enough shows between, say, Newfoundland and Toronto and Vancouver that, so I was put on a short list for A Falling Skies. I was put on a short list for, what's the show Ali did out west? Something like the Western. There's another one in Nova Scotia about ghosts and all that stuff. So you're now on the list, but we need you to apprentice. You need to shadow. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, I just directed an episode of network television for Universal, and you want me to shadow who?
Exactly.
And the person I was shadowing had been, 23 years old.
Yeah, had less experience.
Yeah. So I'm not going to learn anything. And ironically, it came from what's the company I'm blanking? E Entertainment.
E1.
E1.
E1 Entertainment.
It came from E1. So I had a very hoity-toity meeting at a hoity-toity boutique hotel in Hollywood, 2 minutes from the house. We need you to shadow this person. I was like, I have to think about that because it's like, I was going to lose work.
Are you shadowing the showrunner?
No, the director.
No.
Like
the director of one of those shows. So
Okay.
I keep saying Nova Scotia because it was in Nova Scotia. I was like, so I'm going to go to Halifax. I'm going to be there for like 2 weeks of prep, whatever the heck he was doing. And then his 21-day shoot or his 18-day shoot, whatever it was. And then I got to go do it again. Like it was literally, it wasn't laid out in any terms of how long it was going to be, but it was like, for you to join this family, we need you to do this.
5 weeks.
But meanwhile, I'd been that list of Canadian guys. I'd been coordinating for them like my whole career. I knew them all.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them would be like, "You shoot this. I have no idea what to do." And it's very hard to say to an executive, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do that." You're not getting paid. You're just going. So I couldn't imagine myself going to set and just watching decisions being made. And it's for a much, much younger filmmaker, coming out of school, see how a set works, et cetera, et cetera. So a DGA rep was on Murderbot, and she remembered she used to work for E1, and she goes, "Oh, Matt Birman, no, I know you." Yeah, it was funny. But anyway, it's very, very difficult. So the reason I second unit as much as I can is because it just keeps the juices flowing, and
Sure.
I'm trying to make my next feature at the same time, and I'm never going to say no to directing anything. Basically is basically where it is. I never knew that I wanted to direct until it was handed to me. It was one of the things that I do, like writing, acting, photography, all that stuff. I knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah, you compile all that.
Yeah.
You got directing.
The first time I was asked to direct, I was like, oh, sure, that sounds fun. I just was not thinking about it. I watched TJ do it on first on Friday the 13th and then on Top Cops, but it's not something I ever aspired to. As Scotty moved up, I kept moving up. Like, oh, now I'm coordinating because he's directing, But
Interesting.
yeah, and what's funny is I second unit directed for him a couple of years ago on an episode of Taken. It was like, I go, where are you going next? Because I just keep taking.
I'll follow you.
I just keep moving up. So if you're going to be a studio head, I'll be directing, and then when we buy the studio, I'll be the studio head. It's a very funny moment. But yeah, I do. I love directing. Like the car thing I just did on the Jonas Brothers thing was very satisfying. It was fun because it's surrounded by great drivers and good people, and it was minus 35. I don't think either of you guys was there.
What the fuck?
No, I just wanted to bring that to
WTF.
your attention.
I think
that
no,
we
but-
weren't there.
I got
Right.
I
I was
got
getting
this-
that.
I
I was
got
getting that.
Yeah, I totally. Hey, we forgot to call Andrew.
And Blair.
And Blair should be like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So the guy we blame for all of this is Tom Parr, because when I got the job, I went, my coordinator is Tom Parr.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Well, I
the
can call
easiest
Tom.
thing to do. Tom's like, what? And he was.
Shout out to Tom Farr, who doesn't hire.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So I talk about.
No, he doesn't even want
I
to
love
work.
Tom.
Great guy. Anyway, yeah. So that's where directing came from.
So directing second unit, do you have how do I want to say this? You're going in and you're shooting someone else's movie, and you have to work within the parameters of that person's vision. And does that bug you?
Sometimes, if the person has no clue.
Yeah, yeah.
But that has no clue is in the context of my opinion of it, right? So maybe that person does have a clue and I just can't get a grasp of it.
No, that's an interesting statement. That's awesome.
'Cause,
But that said, I keep mentioning that the director on a TV series is the only entry level position.
It is, and now.
I'm asked often what to do,
Yeah.
what to do next, how to do this.
How do we do it?
Can you go and shoot this?
It bugs you.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't say it bugs me because for the most part, I know going in, I'm serving somebody else's vision.
of course.
I'm a hired,
Yeah,
and I just sort of do this. And now that's now. It used to bug me when
Yeah.
I was building a reel and I was like, pay attention to me. And I wanted to impress people.
right.
The
Well, no,
Falling
so-
Skies thing always comes to mind because it's, some guy named Steven. When you were lining me up and you said go to his left, his right, and I said short side. So Steven Spielberg came to set one day and everybody got a selfie except who? Because I was taking all the selfies. And I, at one point, said, "Oh, I've got you short-sighted," and didn't realize I'm trying to impress Steven Spielberg with my lingo. And
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, director?" I was, joking back. And that was like, I was so chuffed. I was like, "Oh, he got what I meant by short-sighted." Meanwhile, at the end of the day, the only dumb fuck without a shot with Steven Spielberg is me. I took all the shots for everybody with their phones. So anyway, yeah, it can bug you. And that goes full circle because Falling Skies moved to Vancouver after that pilot.
Right.
I had done 3 Amblin/Spielberg SKG pilots that all got picked up. So I was like the pilot guy as a coordinator. And then I'm shortlisted for an episode of Falling Skies. And my showrunner from Warehouse 13 was working as a hired, fix-it man in the writer's room on Falling Skies, whatever season it was. Noah Wiley, the star, had read Fish Story at one point way back and considered starring in it. And the note from Amblin was, "Oh, no, we love him, but he's a stunt coordinator." So I didn't get the episode.
It's letterbox. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna.
That
ask
bugged me.
about-
yeah.
That was like, I could have gotten my second episode of network TV, but I'm a stunt coordinator.
How
Same
many?
with acting, right?
Man.
You can't have the part, you're a stunt guy.
Yeah.
You go through this, I'm sure,
All the time.
and you have casting people that have known me now for dinosaur's age
Yeah.
that know I'm an actor and they know I don't like that and they still do it. It just happened on
I would
Patchett's show.
actually. I was told once by a casting director. I asked, why don't there's all these great roles. Why I can act. Why don't I come out for these things? And they told me that they would lose their stunt actor if I became
Just an actor.
just an actor. And I went, whoa. There's not a lot of guys in Toronto doing what I do.
There still aren't.
There aren't.
We've been
yeah.
preaching this for years. Well, Randy
I-
and myself and Junior at one point, Kevin Rushton at one point, we preached it for years. Why don't more of you figure this out?
It's filmmaking.
You can't, you're just making fools of yourselves. You got to give yourselves all the tools. Making fools meaning you ever see Ty Cody or Marco act, it's there's no problem, but you're a damn good little actor, and not to say little like you're little,
Yeah, no,
but
thank you.
it's
Appreciate it.
impossible for them to wrap their heads around either A, I lose the stunt actor possibility, I don't know who else to bring in, or B, he's a stunt guy and I don't want my client,
Constant.
director, producer, whatever, won't take me seriously as a casting director if I send up all these stunt guys. And the best example was the audition. We did these giant moo calls for Universal Soldier that you got a part in. And a lot of guys came in and literally had one line of dialogue because they were robot type characters. And they'd say the name, the GR something, whatever the name of the character was. Ready for deployment was the line. You just had to look at the camera and go, ready for deployment, and be robotic, but let's see if these guys can act. I'm like, that's not going to tell you if a guy can act or not. And Kevin came in, 35 guys came in, and Kevin came in and went, ready for employment. And it was Jeff Wolno, and he went, that guy, I want that guy to play the part.
Because he was ready for
He
employment.
got it. Because he was like a thinking, creative person. Everybody else was like,
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah. But, let us go. There's a bunch of guys that can, Danny Lima, dare I say it, can have his moments. Not an actor, doesn't get any of it, but is completely natural and hysterical. So in your prison thing, I don't know if you were in the room for this moment where Steven goes, give me the best actor. And the entire room points at me like this. And Binkley goes like this.
Yeah, that's funny.
And Steven picked up on it, but he knew me because of Taken. So he was like, yeah, I remember, yeah, you're an actor. So I'm going to be the guy that's going to start the whole freaking riot with a little bit of dialogue. And Binks gets picked to be the guard with me. And then Steven goes, okay, give me like a little Latino guy. Give me a skinhead. Give me a little skinhead is what he said. And Danny, of course, is right there. Rutledge pushed him forward or something, and Danny had white, like blonde bleached hair and a huge lobster suntan.
Okay.
And just looked hammered no matter what, you know what he looks like.
Sounds like Danny today.
It's just Danny. And
love you, Danny.
He gets shoved forward and he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And it's like, and Steven goes, okay, a Latino skinhead with hair. Danny got the part. Didn't speak, but he got the part. So it's like we're all actors. You ever see The Stunt Man?
Yes.
Richard Rush.
Yes.
Which is not about stunts. I love it. It's because I love movies about movie making. And
Never heard of it.
Yeah, we should watch
It's
it.
just about the trickery, and the log line for the film was, if God could do the tricks that we can do, he'd be a happy man. And the poster was like a devil figure sitting on a dolly. Peter O'Toole's the director, and he plays God, but you must see The Stuntman.
Richard Walker
Interesting.
has a poster from the Stuntman and has been trying to give it to me for 2 years, and we haven't been able to hook up to grab it.
It's a gorgeous poster.
It would go good back here somewhere.
It's the coolest graphic. And he's on a dolly.
Yeah.
And we saw that film in '81 at the Montreal Film Festival, and I met Richard Rush in the lobby, and he was crying because it was like, his dream. And it's not so much about stunts. I mean, it's the backdrop. But I love movies about movie making.
Yeah, I do too.
And so just saying, like, the magic of Danny being able to play a Latino skinhead with hair, only in the movies,